Okay, so these are my 2 pelvic squats that I'm doing religiously every day. I do them for my digestive, pelvis and hip function. We're going to start in a parallel position with the legs, and my legs are slightly wider than hip height. If you've got knee issues or you've got hip issues, this is going to be quite hard to start with, and so you can hold on to something as you kind of working your way down, and you might be able to stay in it for 20 seconds, you might be able to stay in it for a minute, you might be able to stay in it for 2 minutes. The longer you stay in it, obviously the better stretch that you're going to get. So we begin by squatting down. Now if you can keep your heels on the ground, that's great. If you can't, you can always lift your heels off, okay? That's completely up to you. Fortunately, I can keep my heels down on the ground. Once I get down into my squat, I can already start to feel my lower back stretching and my sacrum stretching. I'm going to reach my hands forward. I'm going to relax my head, and I'm going to really think of this tailbone dropping and this sacrum and this lumbar opening. And I always have the intention of trying to get my anus down to the floor. So this is a really strong stretch from my lower back, and it's a really beautiful feeling in my pelvis. And I'm placing my pelvis in a perfect position for elimination at the moment. And I'm going to stay here for, I'm going to at least try and stay here for a minute, 2 minutes if I can. And we just hold that. Also, if you want more of a stretch, you can hold onto something like, I don't know, a rug or something that you can then pull against, and then you get that extra pull as this begins to drop down. Okay, stretch number 1. Stretch number 2, you want to come out of that slowly as well, obviously not like I just popped out. You're then going to go a little wider with the feet, so in a rotation. You're going to drop straight down. Okay, now you want to be careful that your knees are not doing this. You want to really make sure that that knee is right over that toe. And then when you get down, my back is quite straight here. Once I get down into a comfortable position for my knees, I'm then going to straighten my body up, and then I'm going to push my knees open, and there you're going to feel your pelvis really opening up. And again, you want that feeling of that anus getting as far down to the floor as possible. You want to almost feel like you've got a weight on the sacrum that's just kind of pulling and relaxing the pelvis. And again, this is hard on the knees if you've got knee issues. It's also really uncomfortable to start with on the ankles. In general, it can be quite uncomfortable when you start, but if you keep practicing every day, these stretches actually become quite pleasurable. And I'm going to hold this again for a minute, 2 minutes if I can. And now my pelvis is in a really nice open shape and position. You're just breathing. You might want to try breathing in for like 6 seconds, something like that. Breathing out for 7 seconds. And then we slowly come back out. Let the joints kind of get back into being in a relaxed position. And there are your 2 pelvic stretches.